the sweet, that sweet baby melanin princess, cause I'm so sweet. And tonight I am without um y'all niece, so bear with Big Mama, okay? I got my edible in my mouth and I'm doing my thing, but I don't even know what's happening. I don't have my sound on, so hold on a second. Child, it's just so much. It's too much. It's too much being a woman. Bam. One sound, what did it say? One march, one sound, one band, one I can or something. Shit, I don't know what the hell. I'm making shit up. Okay. No, we want to search. Really? Y'all gonna really? I bought myself a new TV so I can see myself in 4K. Not really. That ain't why I bought a new TV. I bought a new TV truthfully because this one had been my other one started to glitch in a way where you ever see where the mouth is running, but at a different run rate as the actual action, and you see the people talking, but the words ain't lining up, the sound ain't coming out, and you like, I can't. It's like I'm stopping my show every so often to where I'm like, I've had enough. So let me see. At least I see that I'm on my line. I'm like, okay. I've had enough. So let me see. Okay, so I do see that I have that. Okay. Big Mama's in here getting set up, okay? That's what we in here doing, okay? We're gonna just get this party started, right? Let's get this party started. What's that? Let's get this party started swiftly. Right? I don't know what they be saying. I just make up. Okay. Now, hold on. Bear with Big Mama. She's over here doing big things, okay? Big things. So, let's make sure Big Mama got enough light. But y'all bear with me. Got all my Big Mama fat hanging out in this little skirt top set. Okay, let me connect my tubes and my U's and my tube. You know, hold on. Lighting might get a little funky for a second. I'm connecting new equipment for the first time, so y'all gotta love me. You gotta love me, right? Okay. Edibles for tonight, the Whoa candy. Pink lemonade. Ew. And it's so good. And a green tea martini. Okay? And this is so good. I said, that's what we doing tonight is having a green tea martini. A green tea martini. I'm going to change my sound just because there are... Ooh. Now that was bad, guys. That one was bad. Hold on. Now that was bad. Oh my goodness. That was my whole... Look. I don't know how I did that. That was a whole fumble for real. I've been tearing stuff up lately. But no, I'm going to do... See, this is why you need Asha. You see? This is why we need y'all niece. Because, baby, none of this will be happening. Let me get my sound. The sounding, okay? Because because right now it ain't. And if by chance that the dogs start howling, then you will not have any hearing of me. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give me a hot little second, folks. When I see my blue, I know that I'll be connected. Come on. And if by chance this goes out, throw a hand up. Throw your hands up. Okay, and let me know. So yeah. All right, so that's that. Big Mama's over here struggling. But what we're gonna talk about tonight, I'm gonna get into the beginning of the show. But what we're gonna talk about tonight is, can your ex be your best friend? And somebody posted that on Facebook. I said, well, my best friend is, or my ex is my best friend. And all hell broke loose. Okay. I go, oh, thank you for the thumbs up, people. You got Branny, is that you, Branny? Hi. Oh, it's my niece on the line. Hey, Starla. So, can you be best friends, or can you be friends with your ex, let alone be best friends? So that's what we're going to get into. Oh, look, it just popped right up. Oh, this new TV is not playing. Oh, I wish I could show y'all, but y'all don't need to see all this. But I'm so happy that I don't got all the craziness that I was going through before. Oh, look at that, Big Mama. It's like working the way it's supposed to. Okay, let's get into the show. So, yeah. Thank y'all. Like, subscribe, hit the notification, share the video. I'm going to upload this one onto the internet. We're going to go long tonight. So, Stephanie, if you on the line, don't even talk mess. You already know. But this one going to go into a little depth. So, I'm going to trim off some of the front half of the show so we get into the meat of the show. Okay. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for showing up for Big Mama every week with her craziness, okay? I'm drinking green tea martinis, as I said before. Not everyone else is mature enough for that. Yeah, that's what we're going to get into. I've concluded that there are 7 healthy steps to ensuring that you can be not only friends, but best friends. So, yes, I done broke this thing down since yesterday. I'm drinking a green tea martini. What y'all drinking? What's in y'all cups? Feel free to drop it in there. And this time capsule tonight, it is December 16th, 2025. I think it's like National Chocolate Dip Day or something. I don't know. I don't have nothing for today. There's nothing like profound in history that is notable enough to want to discuss. I heard that years ago that there was a dam, the Baldwin Hills Dam. It broke, but I believe it was December 14th, if I'm not mistaken. So that kind of might not be a synonymous something for today, but in today's time capsule, I ain't got nothing. A few of the homies' birthday, Andre, if you on the line, then happy birthday, bro. But other than that, I ain't got nothing. So that's our time capsule. Black Business Spotlight. Get your big back 6-packs, the juice collection. Stephanie, I'm going to do a whole production of juice this weekend. So you will be having your juices soon. So don't worry about that. Anybody got some free advertisement that they'd like done for the roughly 120 people that watches the weekly shows, then let me know. Just go on and send me their stuff and tell me about them. And I will shout them out on this program. And a few more people in the Los Angeles area and beyond will learn about that Black business. It is free of charge. Free of charge. In the political climate, I have nothing because I don't want to talk about any of how rude, obscene, insensitive, insane, deranged, the president of the United States seems to be right now. The videos of him sleeping are trending well, and South Park seems to be handing it to Hegseth in that whole administration. So, as political climate, my life, oh, we're going to get into so much of my life. Do I even need to divulge of it right now, right here? So, this is a weird thing. How do y'all know when y'all about to get sick? How do you know when you are technically sick? Like when it goes from the brink of feeling something coming on, or I might be, or from that to full fledged, well, duh, I can see you sick now. Not then, but like before you get to that, what is your tall tale? What is the little inkling in your life that makes for, I'm feeling sick. I'm getting sick. Something about something sick, right? Tuesday, I had sneezed. This is after the podcast. I sneezed twice. I think after I took my daughter home, it was probably too much dog dander around when I plopped on her bed because her dog, that's Lola's bed more than that's Aja's bed. And so I sneezed that night. Wednesday, I noticed that I sneezed like 3 times. No, 3 times that day. 3 times that day. On Thursday, I sneezed 7 times during the day and 3 night when I was in bed. I said, I knew it. I knew it. And I didn't feel anything until Wednesday night when I was like, wait, now I'm counting these sneezes. You know what I'm saying? Lo and behold. So Big Mama was down, but she couldn't stay down because on Saturday, my god baby had a gymnastic tournament. And when I tell you, I hate when people say, oh, that's the next Simone Biles. But that's all we really have. That's what we know. So that's what we're going to say. Because when I tell you my baby got it, she got it. Now, if you're asking what it is what is it? It is a gold medal on the vault. It is a silver medal on the beam. It is a silver medal on the floor. It is ranked number 5 all around because my baby was tired on them bars, but she would have probably took that too. So when I tell you, how do you know what it is what it is? That's what it is. So I could not miss that. And I said, I don't care how sick I am. I drugged myself all Friday night. And by Saturday, my cousin came to pick me up because I was going to go see my baby. And I did. And she did the dang thing. And I could not be more proud of her. So, Journey Vega, this show is for you, baby girl, because you did that. My baby did that. So, yeah, that was my Saturday. Then Sunday, I went to go. No, I lied. I didn't go watch the Raider game. I made sure that shit was over before I got there. So I just really went up to the bar where the Raiders team, where I be telling y'all, I'll be going up to the thing and saw my girls, because that was the purpose of that. I go up there and see my girls. I went up there and saw my girls, and then we went down the street and I treated my girl to some birthday something, because her turn up day is the same day as my daddy's birthday. So no wonder why she the craziest mofo I know in the world, as is my father. So yeah, that's what that's what we did on Sunday. And then my girl Steph came up there, and then we just had a ball, and that was just fun day on, what was that, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday game watching. And yeah, so that was my life over the course of this week. I picked up Chopper on Friday night, sick as I don't know what, drugged up with I had my big old puffy coat that my brother gave me. But we when he came out of that train station, oh my gosh, it looked like every child who went to college in Santa Barbara ascended upon downtown. Like Union Station was packed. All you see is all these kids bringing all this crap home for winter break. And so, yeah, y'all nephew back. Hot topics, Rob Reiner, so sad, even more sad and tragic that it was his son who suffered from Um, addiction, which is mental ill, is a form of an illness, from substance abuse and things like that. How tragic to have ended a life. I loved Rob Reiner, of course, for a lot of the TV shows that he created and the art, but the way in which he was such an ally in standing out for the injustices that we see across America right now, and wanting to love a country to equity and equality. And he wasn't afraid to use his platform for being an advocate for good. And may he and his wife forever rest in peace, because that's sad. I love Michelle Obama's response when she was on. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, what is his name? Oh crap. It was a late night show. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of his name. But anyhow, she was on a show and she spoke about the fact that her and Barack were supposed to have met with both Rob and his wife the night that they passed, or they were tragically killed. And I spoke to the humans and the people that they knew them to be. So I really love Michelle Obama. She is really good at being the voice of reason, the face of calm whenever this country faces like such crap. And you hear this rhetoric here and here and here. There's always something to be said about the fact that this woman, she has something to say, and she speaks for all of us. It is how one would want to be represented when you say, oh, she can speak for me, she's my PR, she's the person who just put the statement out, and you ain't got to double check it, you ain't got to do nothing, and you know that it's going to come with a level of sophistication, intelligence, class, poise, compassion, and rooted in something that we all believe. Like, we wholeheartedly can believe the sentiment. So thank you, First Lady Michelle Obama. Um, what y'all watching? Because I still ain't got on South Park, but I am going to watch it. And just a side note, when I finish this show, now this is my first drink of the day, my first everything of the day. I do it on this show. But the crazy part is, by the time I'm done with this show, I be toe up. Y'all be having me toe up on this show. Y'all let me drink a whole jug of martini, okay? A whole jug of it. A whole jug of martini. Be gone. Last week, I left the show. I took the mic off, went right in the bathroom. And I'm so sorry to have told y'all that, but I just wasn't feeling good. Maybe because last week it was the beginning of me not feeling good, huh? Okay, so what y'all watching? Landman, the shit. Been the shit, still a shit, gonna be the shit. Now, what I want to know is, I keep telling y'all about Taylor Sheridan, him leaving CBS Paramount. What are they gonna do when he was the writer and creator of all of these hit shows that are now hosted on this network? Who gonna write for these next seasons? Because Mobland coming back, and I don't care what nobody say. I love Landman, but baby, Mobland. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That shit just raises Landman like up a notch when you didn't even think something can go up a notch. CBS, for a network that has not historically been known for primetime television drama hit shows, baby. Ooh, baby. They got the lineup, but they got one name attached to all of those shows. The Mayor of Kingstown, Mobland, Landman, 1883, 1923, Yellowstone. All of that is one man. His name is Taylor Sheridan. What do you do when he left y'all? Oh, Tulsa King, that too. All of these are his shows. I know y'all heard of them. Yes, all of those are creations of this man
who y'all didn't do right, I guess. And he said deuces. And y'all said we getting rid of DEI. Well, who the hell gonna give y'all some flavor on these shows? Because they have flavor all of this time. So yeah. And then Bel Air. Why y'all gonna come with a season that's 10 episodes? I think it's 10 episodes, 8 to 10 episodes. Crap. And then it's so short. Why? And then you give 3 episodes per week. So it goes off in like in one full month. You've watched all of them. But that's on Peacock. That's on Peacock. Y'all killing me, Larry. I don't know if you guys watch this for the girlies. Emily in Paris. Well, it'll be back on Netflix for the new season on Thursday. Now, I heard that the schematic to Netflix is to not go beyond 3 seasons of a show, which is why many of the earlier shows that were developed for Netflix, they had 3 seasons and that was it, as if it can't get better or whatever. I don't know what was their model as to why that was what they did. But now I'm seeing that a number of these shows, when they like this and they not like this, they've been getting some extra seasons. So let's see. I hope Sweet Magnolias come back because I love that show. In the kids' corner, as I told you, y'all nephew is back with my new TV. He was trying to help me put it up the other day. He tore it up. Okay. He didn't tear it up. He really just broke a screw off in there for us trying to mount it. And then it was hell high water. I was trying to find all the people to help me get this TV up, but we got it up, and that's your nephew. Sterling. I told him a month ago when I was like, fuck Disney. I ain't having no more Disney. I'm canceling Disney subscription, blah, 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 whatever. So he ain't been on there. He hasn't been on the Disney platform. He and I were texting last night. Like we be 2, 3 in the morning when I can't sleep. That's who I talk to. Him and God. I talk to Sterling and God, okay? My baby and God. And he was like, some kind of way I said something. He was like, that's on Disney. I was like, and he was like, I thought you got rid of Disney. I was like, no, I said I never got rid of it. I threatened, but I didn't do it. He was like, oh man, I could have been watching all my stuff all this time. And he could have. I guess you could have, brother, but he wasn't. And so that's him. And then who else we got? Aja. I gave her the day off because I didn't want to do all that ripping and running to go get her. And she got a dental appointment tomorrow. So she gonna come after that to get her hair done for my little cousin's homegoing ceremony on Thursday. So pray for us, pray for my family, because that's what we will be challenged with this week. Another thing, Chopper, being full of surprises, he is going to be a guest co-host in January. I think it's January 6th show. If there's a show on January 6th, Chopper is going to be the co-host. We're going to be talking about the effects of COVID, and he's going to do the segment as it relates to education and how I want him to articulate to you guys how it changed him from before, during, and after as a kid that had to go through portion of his development through COVID. So that's going to be a show like beginning of the year. So Chopper is going to co-host. My friend Charvon said that she was going to co-host too. So hopefully she's still down to do that, because I need both of them, and that would be great. So let's get into it. I'm only 24 minutes in. Oh, okay, Big Mama. She's right on there. You is right on time, ain't you, Big Mama? So yeah, let's get into it. So can your ex be your friend? Even your best friend. So let me tell you, as I mentioned on the promo, that I'm going to be very vulnerable in giving you guys insight to my life that people typically, especially on this podcast, don't know. As I mentioned, this topic hits very close to home. Therefore, I felt it my need to do more research and develop something for a show that we can talk about tonight, and ways in which I can explain how you can be friends, even best friends, with an ex like myself. So let's get into it. First of all, I had one of my very first boyfriends. Um, let's just talk about having a male as your best friend, right? Okay, let me do my promo over here. Hold on one second, guys. Uh, let's just say you have a boyfriend. Your best friend is a male. He's not an ex. He's just a male. We're going to start with Sean, who is my very best friend. He is a male. He's always been my best friend. And in high school, that was a very difficult something for men to, or for guys to understand. How could you have a male as a best friend, right? Okay, so we're gonna dive into it. Well, Sean, TT, and Mike are my trifecta of best friends. Now, yes, I have a sub layer that has, these other people, but the very best, that's where they land. I think when people say that it's impossible, they believe that for very various reasons. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get to this video. They say that because of most people, the reference point of an ex is a toxic ex. It's some toxic dynamics there. So you're going to be like, ain't no way. Unfinished business disguises friendship, because somebody still may want something, or there are still some strings, or there's something. There's a give and a pull, right? And this has to be understood, because that will make anybody skeptical. If my heart is on the line, hold up. I'm not going to be stupid, and I'm not going to be naive. One person still, it can be lopsided. One person still wants more, right? Maybe it's not you, but it's the other person. How do I sign out of this? Okay. Oh, is that? Oh, I see. Um, I'm all over the place, y'all. Am I signed in? I don't need to be signed in. Um, some people have no boundaries. So that's another way for people to be skeptical, is when people lack boundaries, then messages are all over the place. I feel as if I can always go and still have sexual relations with the mother of my child, who is your ex. Well, in this situation scenario, is your ex. I can always get that. That is a misnomer in people's heads. They believe, oh, I can always tap that. I can get that anytime I want, right? And if you believe that to be true, then yeah, you will always have a problem with the belief that there's going to be something going on with them over there. So no, I'm not going to believe that you can be friends with them, because I think that there's going to be some hanky panky and some non-right stuff going on, right? I think when they say it's impossible, what they're really trying to say, or what they really mean, is the fact that they've never seen it done in a healthy way. And if that's the case, if that be the case, then it's nothing more than perhaps seeing it modeled for you to have belief. Or maybe a podcast like mine where I could break it down and show you how mentally, psychologically walk yourself through it and have an understanding like, I guess maybe you could if said thing were checked and you actually could do it, right? I was told, I was asked. So once this conversation got sparked into a viral conversation on Facebook, the person then, so I talk about Sean. So Sean, the person, it's two thoughts here. So the person on Facebook said, well, I don't think you would like it if it were the other way around. So not my boyfriend needs to just deal with the fact that Sean is my best friend. You wouldn't like it if, but Sean isn't an ex. So the pushback is, you're best friends with your ex. I am best friends with my ex. I wouldn't like it if my today husband was best friends with his ex. And I push back on that argument because, as I said with Sean, my boyfriend at the time, his name was Tori. And this is the very first testament to it, was shared relationships. My best friend, my boyfriend, his name was Tori. And he was a boyfriend. He was not somebody. I tend to fall in love with my friends and then I make them my boyfriend. And then whatever transpires beyond that. And that's just how I've been in relationships. I pursue men. You might run, but I'm gonna catch you, brother. So yeah. I pursue men. And I pursue only once we're really good friends. And then I say, dang, I fell in love with my friend. And then I'll let them know. And the ball is in their court. I am never fearful of rejection. Hello, I have a career in sales. If I was fearful of rejection, I would not be able to make a living. Okay. So I know that you have to put a number of filters out there before you'll receive some yeses. You got to cast a wide net before you're going to catch some stuff. That one at a time thing just does not work in love and in life. It just doesn't. So with that being said, Tori, once he got the feel of understanding, because when you have these relationships, you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend, and your best friend is this. Well, it's not like just you and your best friend get to go off and be by yourselves and I'm on the out. I'm your woman now. I get to hang too. Like, y'all don't get to just hang by yourself. Me and my best friend, we don't hang by ourselves. My significant other is always invited. Now, if you don't want to come, that's on you, but it's not this is an exclusive thing where it's an only us thing. You can't attend. Never. That has never been. That is not, I don't even have relationships like that. I'm a very open friend. If I go somewhere, you can come too. You ain't got nowhere to be, come be with me. On both sides. It doesn't matter, male or female. And so I say that because there came a time when, like now, many of my male counterparts, my husband today, he reaches out. He and my best friend, Sean, have a relationship. He and even my best friend, Mike, who is my children's father, has a relationship. Albeit they're not best friends, but there is not I hate him, I want to kill him. That is not what I've created as the culture that we're all I'm going to be the one to set the tone. That's not who and what we are. That's not what we're going to be. And that's not what I am. And that's a reflection of me. The relationships that I choose to keep are reflections of me, what I allow and what I want in my life. If he was some crazy ex, then no, but I have never chosen any crazy man to be with. Therefore, I've never had no crazy exes. Hence why me and every single male who I have ever been with, we are still not just exes, we are friends. We're not acquaintances, we are friends. I call them, they call me for advice, for whatever. We still have relationships that span outside of each other, meaning connective friends and family and the like over the accumulation of years that you build just being on earth and in proximity of knowing someone. So, friendship is not going to start the very same day that you guys break up. Let's be clear. If you break up on Monday, don't expect friendship on Tuesday. That is not about to be how it happens. That's not healing. That is avoidance. That's not healthy. That is you going through life as if something did not happen when something did. And then let's be clear. When we say ex, there had to be a real relationship. Because some people will call somebody their ex, and all y'all did was have sex a few times, and then that's it. I'm talking about you have been in a real relationship. As my relationship stands, we have children together. So that's how much of an all my children, that's my ex. He's a whole human that is my very best friend. This shit requires work. It required space and it required a whole lot of time. There are layers of becoming friends after a breakup. I believe that there are 7 that I've identified for a totality of making this make sense. So come walk through them with me, if you will. 1, the breakup must be final. So we're not talking about an ex. So this is layer 1. Layer 1, the breakup must be final. We're not talking about an ex where it's a maybe, we still in that off and on. It's still, I just really want to just show them what, and then da-da-da-da-da, or I want, no, I'm talking about like y'all done. It's been done. It is done. Y'all done. Like moved on, done. Somebody went, got married, done. Like done. We talk about done. It has to be a snap and done. That's layer 1. If you ain't got that, then no, you cannot be friends, and you for dang sure cannot be best friends. If it's not over, friendship is just slow heartbreak. Layer 2, grieving what was. If you guys haven't taken the opportunity, both of you on both sides, to grieve what was, the heartbreak, the fact that, dang, I really thought, because in my heart, I really thought. Ain't no way you lay there and have all these kids by a man who you ain't really thought was going to be your forever. Okay? So I really thought that's what it was going to be. So yes, there was a huge grieving process. I'm a Cancer. Much of it takes place while I'm in the situation. Of course, I know. And I think for me, also being a Cancer and coming into this with him being my best friend. We were friends first, very good friends. He was a friend that I fell in love with, had sex with, had kids, and created a life with. He's next. Yet, he was a friend. There's a distinction I'm going to make at the end of this that's crazy that I learned, a huge something that I learned. Even my psychologist ain't learned this. It's going to be an interesting topic this week, ain't it? A huge learning for me. It's an eye opener. It's crazy. It is just like, what? It's on my reflection at the end of this. So anyhow, grieving what was, you have to be in a place where it is over. When it's over, when let it go, just let it go. Yeah, you gotta let it go. Like it is over, over. Okay, over. That's not when you feel as if, okay, No. The grief comes from not only losing the actual person, but you're losing intimacy, you're losing routines, you're losing future plans, you're losing a huge part of your identity. Because for so long, it's, oh, well, when you go to the party, you're coming with this person on your arm, or I'm sending an invitation, or you guys go to weddings together. Again, I had to mourn a decade-long relationship. This is more than 10 years. So this is mourning a civil union loss at this point. You got to get that out of your mind that it's actually over. In both sides, we both had to do those two things and move on. It's over. It's over. And you come to that and you be like, damn, like I really thought that we was gonna be. And then you really sit, and then years pass by and you look back and be like, dang, we really was like, dang, we really thought we was about to be together, like, because then you get to that point like, dang, we thought we was about to be together. Cool thing is we got these beautiful kids we get to raise together, but we realize we ain't about to be together, right? Because that's what you have to do. So you must mourn it fully, like in its totality. And in that, you ain't friends with the person. You are not friends. You're not friends. And for us, you still deal with one another. We're still respectful, cordial, all those things, which helps. Because neither one of us were ever the spiteful, mean, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Never, when both of us could. Probably more him than me, and he never did. Layer 3, space and emotional detox. This is where most people fail because time apart to reset your nervous system is where people fall all the way the hell undone. Because you have to learn to regulate yourself without that person's presence. Your routine, the way that I'm used to doing this every day, and they not there no more. It's like, okay, well, wait. Like, dang, when I go here, I usually get a number 2, and then they get a number 4, and then we both have all the things that we need. Well, now if I want all of what I want, it's gonna cost me a whole lot of money. Or if it's in the small things. It's in those small nuances of life where you have to get over having what that companionship looked like, what that relationship looked like, the way in which you showed up in the world, what that looked like. Breaking emotional habits, like putting baggage on. You don't got that person to put when I come home from work, and this is the person that I talk to. You don't have that anymore. That is grief unlike any other. That is where you hit a state of loneliness that is different from any other, because it's not like I'm necessarily alone. I have friends, I have family, I have all these things that you may have. It was you had your person, and you ain't got your person anymore. And not only do you not have your person, you got to realize that that person is still alive somewhere, and they can actually be somebody else's person now. What? Gut wrench. How you gonna go be somebody else's person? Because if you ain't my person, you ain't supposed to be nobody's person, right? Am I right? Because that's how we feel. Those are legitimate feelings. That is what people naturally feel. That is what grieving. That is a part of the process. I don't want you to be with nobody else. You fucked over me. You don't deserve to go be happy with nobody else. You bet not be going to go give this other woman, this other whatever, all of the love and the something that I was asking you for, and you couldn't figure out a way to give it, and now you just got all your shit together and you over there giving it to them, huh? That hurts. So that's the type of shit you got to go through and get over, to where if you ever see that they giving that to somebody else, you be like, oh, I like that for them. They deserve that. Not, fuck them. That's two differences. That's when, I'm getting too far ahead. So, layer 3, space and emotional detox. This is where people fail. If there is no space, there is no room for the clarity. This is where you have to do the work. You can't be up in their orbit. It is very hard to co-parent with somebody, but that takes work and that takes healing and that emotional strain of something. But I'll tell you this, having been friends prior to definitely helped. And having both of us come from two-parent households where both of our parents were married until death did them part, and seeing them be friends gave us both the ultimate Bible on how it was supposed to work in the first place, and both all of their support in us navigating navigating this journey as to how to ensure that our children don't look like they come from dysfunction, even though you and him ain't got y'all ish together and we don't know what this is, because ain't nobody ever done gave birth out of wedlock. Ain't nobody ever did none of what you and Mike have done on either bloodline, from the Shelton line or on the Kimball line. So what are y'all doing? Luckily, we had the master blueprints on both sides on how to do it right. And he and I looking at each other like, we're gonna fuck some shit up, didn't we? So that kind of helped. These shared experiences will help you become friends as well. So we had the space because we took the time, we had the space. Hell, I moved out and there was space. And it gives you the clarity needed in order for you to understand that there is life without the person. Because a lot of times we feel as if there is no life without the person. We have to realize that there is life without that person. So that's part of that grieving process. Then accountability and ownership. In this, it talks about how real healing requires honest conversations, real apologies, and owning your part without defensiveness. For us, because we did not have, I believe, the ability for such space and distance to where I can't see you. I still see you every day. We have little kids. They go to school every day, and we are both very active in all of our kids' lives. Like every day, we are both touching every day our children's morning routines, night routines. Even without living with one another, we are still very much in tune with every single detail of everything of their day. So we're too close to have too much space. So for us, I believe with layer 4, where it addresses accountability and ownership, for me, it was just sheerly forgiveness. I was asked on this Facebook page, well, because I was asked, first of all, why is he your best friend? And I listed all of these things as to why he's a great friend, great human, and who wouldn't want that person to be their best friend? Luckily for me, I get to call him my best friend. Nevertheless, the pushback was, well, why y'all not together? Well, here's the thing. Romantically, what I desire, I was not receiving. What happened was I fell in love with one of a really great guy, a great freaking friend. I fell in love with a great friend. I said, attractive, great background, great pedigree, taught all the things that one would be like, well, if this ain't God telling me this is what I guess I'm supposed to do, like there's no person that I'd rather do all these things with and hang out with, and we have the same interests. He's so smart, like I would want my kids to be smart like him, tall like all the things I would want. He's just like my dad. That's exactly what every little girl wants. So yeah, clearly this must be what God dropped on my lap. Tried it out. Well, why we ain't together? Because I like to be the only woman in the relationship. That's why. Let's just be real. That is the only reason why. And when you deal with infidelity for the totality of a 10 to 12, 15-year relationship, some point you give up, regardless if it's with your best friend or not, or your friend or not. And I'll say, one of the reasons why you feel as if you hang in there, for me, I stayed in relationships much longer than I needed to with specific men because they were my friends. And I could not, in the relationship, separate the two. And seeing and saying and thinking, he's such a great friend. And this is why I hate this statement. If they loved you, they wouldn't cheat on you. That's not the truth. A man can love you 100% and cheat on you. He can cheat on you all day, every day, and love you. Now, here's the thing. He may not be loving you. And what I had to understand the distinction was he may not be loving me the way in which I want to be loved, the way I deserve to be loved, the way I desire to be loved. And that, ding, 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 was the thing. This guy ain't bad. He's great. He's not this. He's phenomenal. He's not this. The problem is that ain't what I want. That ain't what I want. I desire this. He can't give me that. That matters more to me than not necessarily the character of the person or all these other things, but it matters more than just me being here trying to make something work with a great human when I'm betraying myself because I'm allowing him to dishonor me. That hurt. And that's why when you say, well, if it's so great, why aren't you together? Because I don't like being cheated on all the time. That's why. That's why. That's a simple answer. So there you have it. An answer that I'd never give to anybody, but that's your answer, okay? So for me, it wasn't space. We didn't have the ability to have space. It was just forgive the person. They didn't have the capacity to be what I needed. And I had to understand that. So it wasn't, I needed closure. I needed this. We too close in proximity. We see each other every day. Like there is none of that. Honest conversation. We never had to sit down and divulge all of this. Well, because you did that to me and I did this to you and you hurt me here and I hurt. That's what people who still trying to make some shit work. We didn't need to have that conversation no more. Them conversations was null and void. Why do I need to care about what it was that I did for this? Why? So you can try to fix it? We're so beyond that. There's nothing to fix, baby. You don't need to tell me why. I don't need to tell you nothing. Never need to talk about it again. Ever. Ever. Talk about it with your therapist. I'll talk about it with mine. But you and I have no need to ever talk about anything having to do with our relationship, where it went wrong, why was this, why you did that. Nothing. None of that. We're done with that. And we never did again. We never did again. It's just like that one day I was done and we never did again. My actions showed it. We never did it again. So we never did again. It was kaput, capiche. It was where the scissors meet the perforation and we're done. So there was no real honest conversation that we needed to have because it was just forgiveness. And clearly it worked both ways where I was forgiven too for whatever grievances out there or, atrocities that I committed within that relationship and things that were done unfavorably on my end to him, because things will always be both, bi-directional in a relationship. Yes, being cheated on is a reason to stop being with somebody, but that's not to say that he doesn't have a million what was pissing him off about me in that same relationship. Real apologies. I think our behaviors dictated the apologies. The way in which we handled each other with care, the way in which we were very kind to one another. We didn't have to say, I'm sorry. We didn't have to say, I apologize for all the hurt. We didn't have to do all oh, you taking the kids out to such and such, like, oh, you want to do this while you're going to work and you give money, like, oh, I'm paying for myself. It's like, oh no, like, for you too. You pay for you and the kids to go. Cause I can just pay for my fucking kids. I don't have to give you a goddamn thing. Like I can always be stingy, mean, all these things. He's never been that. Mike has always been more after we broke up than when we were together. The forgiveness for me, I think when you extend the forgiveness, the behaviors make that was how we bridged a healing with one another. That was different because it was no longer I'm trying to get with you, like I see she is not messing with me, and it clicked for him, like, so he ain't never threw a flirt, a wink eye, he ain't never texted me inappropriately, he's never done anything, he ain't never even, aside from, unless me, his mother, and Aja all went to church together or something, he'd be like, you ladies look really nice or something like that. Mike ain't never been like, damn, you look good. He's never done that. We follow each other on social media. He'll put a heart under a post, but that's nothing. He's never done anything inappropriately, ever, to make my significant other feel as if him being a friend is a problem. I like to be very transparent in all of my relationships. I pride myself on transparency. Whenever I am on the phone with my male friends and my husband or whomever I've been as a boyfriend has been around, I will put the phone call on. I am quick to put the phone call on speakerphone. You ain't about to hear no undertones, no sly remarks about nothing. I have my friends whipped. Don't you ever come at me like that. And that's the difference between having the understanding of how a friendship is supposed to be amongst anybody that is one's friend. You're supposed to own your part without defensiveness. We didn't really have to do that because we both owned our parts through action. Like, yeah, we messed things up, brother. So the only thing we can do is make them right within our children, for our children. Act like we got the sense that our parents then gave us, because even though we grown, they will still pop us in the back of our head and act like y'all better act right. We can't be the ones up at no PTA meetings, at the little Christmas programs and all of that cutting up. We all sitting together as a family. We gonna act like y'all ain't together, and you and your husband can sit together, him and his girlfriend can sit together, but we all gonna sit together and act like we all got some sense. You don't got the ability to be or do that ghetto shit. That's not how we about to act up in here. And enough of that thought process and the discernment to know that at the end, having a righteous heart and wanting things to be better than they are. I don't want to hate him. I don't want a contentious relationship with my children's father or my ex. I don't want a contentious relationship with anybody on the planet. Therefore, it is for me to go ahead and make sure that I lead with integrity and the wherewithal that, if nothing else, I can be kind. And if I lead with kindness, then who knows where things could go. But if there is any defensiveness in it, if you can't have an honest conversation with a person and you can't have apologetic behavior towards the person, there's no way that you can build a friendship, because you're going to always have unaddressed hurt and probably a level of resentment. Boundaries is where the shift begins, because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is like one of those one of those tests, right? I say, well, rubber meets the road because what do we talk about now? Now that we friends, I'll say, for me and my ex, what we had to talk about was our kids. That gave us the best road. Like, all we had to do was talk about them. how great they are, what they got going on, this, that. We've always um we've always presented a united front as our parents did. We were never able to manipulate them. We both um were punished by military fathers, if you know what I mean. So we knew what was right and we knew what was wrong. Therefore, we raised our kids in that exact same way. And that was the easiest thing for us to talk about was our kids. What else do we talk about? Shared and liked interests. Luckily, because he was my friend, we had so many. We had sports. We had literature. We would exchange, have our own book exchange. I just read this and then we'd swap. Well, here, read this one. You'll like this one. That's what we talk. Then we'd sit there and we talk about the book. What other things? We would talk about a lot of sports because it was a lot of sports. We talk about a lot of, if it's the TV shows and dramas, that's what we talk about because these are boundaries. This is all you could talk about. Ain't nothing else for us to talk about, right? You talk about the heavier things in life, how parents are doing, how family and friends who's passing away and things like that, unfortunately, because that's where you are in your life. Those are the things you talk about because you're also going through these things with said friend. What's off limits? Well, as I mentioned to you, we never had another conversation about no freaking nothing ever after you realize, bitch, done with you. Okay, Playboy, done, done. It was no more. It was never no more innuendos, especially once I moved on and had a significant other. Never, ever was there anything ever talked about between us. A text, a DM, a chat, a note, nothing. There has never been anything. So that is a huge something. I am willing to give my phone to my significant other to see friendship things. You can sit on there and lay in bed with me as I text said friend, and I'm as transparent for you to see how this relation, because that person doesn't know that you're sitting here with me, so they're going to be honest. I won't even let them know that you sitting here with me. So if you want to just see our dialogue and how we communicate, I'm open and free to that, because for me, being honest, open, honest, and transparent, who I am, that's why this person is my best friend. How do we show respect to future partners? Well, if you're already showing respect, as I just mentioned, that's how you show it to future partners. Transparency. You want to hang? We all can hang. You can see how the hanging looks. It's never anything where it ain't a crossbreed. There is never nothing. If Mike invites me somewhere for his family, they're always, well, your husband can come. Everybody in line, okay? And he's come. My husband has gone to my ex's parents' home for events. There's friendship because there's family and community in this thing. How often does one communicate? Because this is all under the shift. What do we talk about now? What's off limits? How do we show respect to future partners? And how often do we communicate? Because this is where the shift in what once was as boyfriend, girlfriend, and healing and grieving and all that. Because at one point we didn't talk. One of the tests they say is, can you go, let's see. Can you go 60 to 90 days without the person? Because that's a testament to if something is real or if it ain't. If you can go 60 to 90 days without this person, that is a true testament to the breakup. If you couldn't survive 60, 90 days without them, it's dependency, not friendship. So no, that wouldn't be a friend. So again, this is where the shift, like the true test of the shift from them being your ex to them getting into a place where there is the possibility or the potential of friendship, where it's built on healthy bones, healthy foundation, not just time. Like it's been, and then we coming back, but we coming back like, oh, okay, like, but that's my friend. No, that's my brother. No. What do y'all talk about? Because drop yourself in any scenario with your ex. They came back around. You ain't say, I ain't seen you in 9 years. Okay. In them 9 years, y'all exchange numbers. Y'all seen each other. Y'all get on the phone. What do y'all talk about? How you doing? How you been? You still looking good? Gives a fuck how I look. We not here for that. Not here for that. I don't think we're starting this off in the right direction. So what's off limits? That needs to be boundaries set. Because if your future partner reads this, if that was via text, that would look kind of sus. That's your ex talking about you look good. Now you see how that shit sounds? Don't sound right. Don't sound right. So drop yourself in any of this. Seeing what y'all still talking about. That'll let you know what's off limits. Is it just engaging, or is it just some old repeated stuff from the past? Are they respectful to your partner? Because now you might be in a relationship. How you gonna be a friend if you ain't about to be respectful to my partner? So no. How often do y'all communicate? Are you calling me all the time? Is you trying to hang out, do all of this? No, you're an ex. We don't need to do that. No. Now, if you come around, if we got some other things in common, we, like, oh, we on the same bowling league or something, like something would have to bind you to be close other than you just wanting to be close. Because no, you can't just be close. If the rules still look like the relationship, you ain't friends yet. Y'all still in limbo. You still in that. It can be pulled right back into a relationship. That is not it. That ain't it. So layer 6, reconnection as friends. Now comes the test. Can you celebrate each other without jealousy? If he proposes to said girlfriend, if he gets down on his knee, puts it all over his social, did for her what he ain't never did for you, thought about for you, you ain't never seen this in this man. If he do that, are you gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy he finally did it? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to call him. I'm so happy he finally asked this girl to marry him because he was about to mess up and lose her. Are you that person? Or are you? See, if that was me, I wouldn't have even, she didn't even come with her hair right. I mean, and then I be hearing that she don't even cook. And then sometimes her food don't even, he just be over there settling, No, I heard he's settling. Are you A or are you B? Because if you 1 or if you 2, that's a huge testament to where you at in this thing, baby girl. If you ain't elated through the moon, oh, again, this your fucking best friend, bitch. Ain't it your best friend? Because if it's your best friend, what best friend go all out or get something done all out for them, and you ain't over there on couches like, that's my bestie. That's my ex-E. And he just asked the woman of his dreams, of his life, to be his wife. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him that he finally grew up and did all the things that I wish he would have did, but he didn't. But I'm finally glad that he did, and he did the right way, and he got a good woman, and blah, 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 blah. If you ain't doing that, y'all ain't ready to be friends. And I'm just going to say that. Because you can't celebrate each other without jealousy. Again, this is level 6, baby. We testing all theories. Level 6, test the thread, okay? Can you disagree without dragging up the past? Baby, you try co-parenting somebody with somebody. Co-parenting a girl and then co-parenting some boys where rules are different for both. And we both of opposite sex. So that's a lot of just co-parenting where we can argue and then throw in, yeah, because when we was together, we've never done that. Never done it. Ain't done it one time. Because one, it ain't effective. And two, it ain't got nothing to do with these kids. And that's why I chose an intellectual man. That's why I made the choice. That's why I can have exes that are still friends. Here's a note. Every ex that I've ever been with, we are all still friends, not acquaintances, friends. Most of them are probably on this page watching. We're all still friends. I can still call them all for anything, and they can call me because the only thing they call me for is to use my brain and be like, girl, help me with this. Can you write this for me? Read this for me. I'm going to send you an email. I got this contract. I need your help. Like, I only trust you. Like, because I don't trust these motherfuckers. Like, here's another note. There isn't one man on the face of this planet that I have ever been with that has ever gotten past girlfriend status with anyone else since me. So that says a lot. And as I hear, they compare every single person to me. I have never in my life talked to any of my exes about my current person. I never have. That is one way in which we can be friends, because you'll never hear me speak of what I am currently with, what we going through, or any of that, because it ain't none of your business. Just like when I was with your sorry ass, I ain't never told nobody about what I was going through with you then. That's private. I keep that private. Okay? So that's another way to ensure friendship. Me and Mike don't talk about my relationship. We never have. We've never talked about, he don't talk to me about no girls he's been with his relationships, none of that. And likewise, that is not a topic of conversation between the two of us. We don't drudge up the past between the two of us. We don't say when we get in an argument over, well, we don't argue over football because we love all the same teams, which helps because that's kind of sort of why you like people and they become your friends, because you guys all like the same kind of stuff sometimes. But we argue a lot, like brother and sister. We argue a lot, a whole lot. And never once in any argument do we bring up, okay? Ever. It's never happened because it's null and void. What difference will that make? That ain't got nothing to do with what we got to talk about right here, right now. Because it's kind of like ill. Can you support without entitlement? Can you support that person without feeling entitled to front row seats, preferential treatment, anything? Can I do anything in life? Let's just say I win a Golden Globe for this podcast, okay? Mike will silently cheer for me at home. He doesn't feel as if he needs to, I'm entitled to be there and see all the things and be around, and I'm her best friend. I need to be up in there. He gonna send me a bouquet of roses, or roses, those are my favorite flowers. He gonna send me a bouquet of roses with a note that the people at the shop that wrote. Even though he got beautiful handwriting, but he's gonna send that and tell me how proud of me he is. He knew I can do it. He been there since day one. That's my best friend. It ain't no I gotta go to the Golden Globes with you. I better be the one. No, none of that. He's silent. He don't want nobody to know. None of that. That's how I know that is my friend. Not only that, but that is where friendship proves itself. It proves itself in you're hemorrhaging. We need to cut you wide open. And you're laying on an operating table and you look up and the only thing you see is this person's face. When you are going through turmoil with your body and you are laying in a hospital crying out for your mother, that just died, and the only person who's standing there holding your hand is that person. You cannot tell me who my friend is. It has been proven over and over, time and time. There are countless stories as to how life has just created a friend for me, whether I wanted it or not. Brett, the energy is, so this is level 7, is earned, is not assumed. Friendship is earned. It is not assumed, whether it's with your ex or any human. That is something that someone earns from you. Trust, loyalty. You don't give that away freely. And it's also something that you want reciprocated, because that's what makes you my friend. That's what makes me your friend. It's a shared history, a history of me losing my parents and him being there for me. The first being the person who I'm on the phone, well, the person I'm with when my father passes away, and whose arms I collapse in upon getting that news. The person who stood by my side when this happened. And okay, I can't put his business out there, but it's a story that's so funny. Because, baby, oh, baby, your shared history is going to dictate a lot of life for you. Your energy is earned. The energy of friendship is earned. It is not assumed. It is in the mutual respect that you have for one another. It is in the ownership of loyalty. Like, I know that person got my back. I know they do. Man, I had this time where I ain't even told nobody, and that person had my back, and vice versa. I don't have stories like that with anybody else. That's how you become the best. That's how you become the best. So I challenge it. Yeah. When this person offers me peace instead of confusion, peace in the midst of my fucking confusion. I went to work one day after my father died. You guys know I grew up in my family home. I had my kids, all 3, in that home. I stayed in that home my whole life until this day. This one particular day, I went to work. Mike and I were meeting after I got off. He got off. He picked the kids up. We met at the house, and the house was padlocked. Where you live, like a realtor's padlock. So a clamp on there's nothing that for me to get into. It's a realtor's padlock. I cannot get through this. So after my sibling stole my parents' home from beneath me that I still lived in. They came from another portion of the state, because that's where they live. That's where they've lived for the last 30 years, 20 years, and decided, oh no, I'm going to go steal my parents' house from underneath my baby sister. I'm 10 of 10, baby sister. That's what they did. And put me out on the street that day. My children's uniforms are in there for the next day. Like, this is where I live. This is where all your, like, imagine you can't go home. Like, you pay your rent, but you got evicted. That. Where this man, who I done already broke up with him and told him all that's him, right? He said, well, what you can't do is be homeless. You and everybody just come with me. Mind you, From the day my children were born, I filed child support because we were unmarried. And if you want to be in your child's life, it is my belief that for me, you have two choices. You can renounce your throne and say, I want nothing to do with you, nothing to do with those kids. And I could put a blank name on that birth certificate and you never have to do anything ever. You won't be on the hook and I'll never divulge your name or any of that. You don't have to pay a dime, but you also have no rights of ever seeing them. Like you're going to sign, you'll never see them. You'll never be a part of anything. Nobody in your life will ever be a part of their lives. Or this is what it is. We're unmarried. So whatever it is you got to give is for your children. It ain't for me. Whatever you give, it ain't helping me much. And at this point, I'm thrown out. This man is paying me child support, right? He takes me in. My oldest, who is not his biological child, who he has taken care of since he was age of 2.5. He's been taking care of 3 kids, 2 his own, 1 who ain't. And he takes all of us in and takes us all in until perpetuity. When I had no other friend who did or who would. He paying me to he could easily be, if I scroll through Instagram and Facebook, F this B, her homeless ass. I'll put her ass out. I could take my kids. He had every right. I had nowhere to go, not a pot to piss in or the window throw it out. He could have taken his own kids. He got a case on my oldest kid. He could have put me out, took the kids, and been happily ever after, and I could have been just a little a thought on the street. That never happened. It's the loyalty without the ownership. We have been as loyal to one another as any friends can possibly be. Sometimes the deepest friendships are built after the romance ends. Once I believe we got out of a hazy romance and the funk and the toxicity of the cloud of what we thought was romance got out of the way, we were clear, level-headed, great friends and amazing co-parents. And it only grew as better friends over time evolved because there was no romance involved. So for you, Cowboy Kevin, and I'm calling you out, sir, here's a checklist for you, requirement checklist. Can it happen? Yes. But again, if you don't follow those 7 steps, I'm going to tell you the answer is no. But because I've done all 7 steps, that's why I can assure you that, yes, it is healthy because I'm in a healthy best friend relationship with an ex. This requirement checklist is for you. An ex can be a best friend when the breakup is fully accepted. I done went on and got married. Time and space have occurred. It's been 15 years. No romantic agenda exists. Well, boundaries are clear and respected. Is welcome to come to my home. Richard has been open and welcoming. We've hung out. Mike goes to Richard's birthday parties. I think that the boundaries have been clear and respected, and he wouldn't be in those places and spaces if he wasn't respectful and there weren't boundaries. Accountability has happened. Well, for us, forgiveness has happened. New partners feel safe, not threatened. I think well, I don't know about Mike's partners, but my partners feel safe. I cannot speak about threatened, but if in any way my husband ever felt unsafe, that's not who he is. He ain't gonna ever feel unsafe. That just don't go with who. If you know who he is, he ain't about to ever feel unsafe. So yeah, those 2 words are like oxymorons. Richard and unsafe don't go hand in hand. I mean, somebody else might want to feel unsafe before he feel unsafe, so that don't go. And then the connection brings peace, not confusion. I enjoy co-parenting with this person. Reason being, he's easy. We think a lot. Our kids thrive. We both funny. We laugh at the fact that our kids are nothing like us, and that's kind of weird. So that's kind of, out there and kind of crazy. Um, but for you, Kevin, on that checklist, if those things aren't present, then no, that friendship is toxic as fuck, and they cannot be friends, nor can they be best friends. So, in closing, people assume that staying close to an ex means that you've never healed. And sometimes it means that you've healed so deeply that love no longer needs to feel and or be romantic to be real. You understand love is action. Love is something that is, people chase love, but you can't ever, it's like water. You can never really grasp it, even though it may be all around you. Or maybe it's not, but you do understand and feel when you're in its presence, much like water. So, not every breakup has to end in war. Some relationships don't fail, they truly just evolve. And I think that's what a healthy friendship looks like amongst exes. It's love evolutionary. It's no longer love in this form. It's love in a completely different form. And when it hits all of those points as outlined this evening, then I truly believe that you will find beauty in the friendship of something that you never thought could have been before. And I'll leave you guys with that. I had a self reflective something when I was doing the research for this show today. One of the things that I learned was, for me, I married somebody that was a friend and I fell in love with him. And I don't have romance. With my kid's dad, my ex, it was a friend. I fell in love with him. That relationship then lacked romance. And then I had my boyfriend, Tori, back in the day, both he and Ernesto. They were like two of the greatest loves of my life because we weren't friends before we were lovers. They came straight in. You're so this. I love you. Will you be my girlfriend? And just romanticized me. And I thought every man would be that. What I find is, and what I've identified in doing this is, every man that I've ever been with that I pursued, because it was a realization that I had, I found a man that is my real true friend. I love him. I've fallen in love with this man. I want him to be my man. No romance. I see it as them seeing us as nothing but friends. And you teach people how to treat you. As my friend, you didn't have to romanticize me. Ooh, I can't wait to talk to my therapist about this. So friends have yet to make great lover boys or boyfriends in that ooey gooey way. Boyfriends for me, I liked that. When men pursued me, they wowed me, they wanted me, they gave me all the things that I wanted. They were always trying to make me happy. I like that because in turn, I was willing to do everything for them because I always felt appreciated for being nothing more than me. In relationships where we start off as friends, I feel as if I'm never really seen as a girl at all or as anything special, as anything that requires, like, I need to be like, oh, I got a baddie on my arm. It's like, I don't. And that's hurtful for me to realize that while doing this show. So that lets you know how much healing can be done when you're open to it. When you're open to being receiving of what life has to give. And oftentimes that's where you find people. So my on purpose statement of this week is peace comes not from escaping life, but from meeting each moment with awareness and compassion. My low of the week was getting sick or feeling sick or whatever that was with the sneezing and sneezing. My high of the week was watching my baby journey, baby, watching my baby on that floor exercise. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it on my page. Watching my baby do that floor exercise. I don't think you guys understand. I was trying to not cry. I did. Thug shared tears, but I appreciate you guys for watching. See, that's all these edibles and drinks y'all have made me have on this show. I appreciate y'all. Cowboy Kevin, thank you for sparking this conversation. I hope I hit on a lot of the topic of what we were discussing in your comment section. And hope you guys will like, subscribe, share, and see you here next week, next Tuesday, when we're talking about what Black men deserve. So Yolanda Davidson, maybe we can hook up or something, baby girl, and have a conversation. So happy holidays for all of you. For me, it's happy Kwanzaa. And I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. You ain't got to go home, but you know the line. Got to get the up out of here. Okay, bye.